I'm gonna go ahead and make a broad assumption that all of you most likely have at least one friend. And if it is the case that you have no friends, then my brother, I am sorry for you. I hope they find a cure for you soon. Of course, you and I can always be friends, assuming you like, subscribe, and comment, and share this video. And if not, I hope your pillow stays warm for all of eternity. But with that aside, those of us who do have friends know what it's like to deal with some bum-ass niggas from time to time. Because a lot of niggas and niggas out here have no respect for themselves. And if they have no respect for themselves, you bet your bottom dollar they have no respect for you. A lot of these people are just along for the ride, lacking all types of situational awareness and humility. But again, some of us have no friends. So I've taken it upon myself to make this informative video on what it's like to have bad friends. So without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, the worst types of friends. Friend number one is the lazy friend, the friend with absolutely no goals, ambitions, or aspirations. These niggas and niggas will wake up on the sunniest day in their entire lives, and instead of praying, hitting the gym, going outside, or doing anything, they spend their entire day inside just bumming, doing what you may ask, absolutely nothing. Just laying around drinking it, or be nastying, smoking, watching Twitch streams, scrolling TikTok, just every possible brain-rotting activity you could think of. And it's not like they're dumb. They might be, but that's not always the case. Some of them are just lazy. You could try to get these niggas to do anything, but if it requires even the smallest amount of work, they're not doing it. Trust and believe they would rather watch paint dry than work for a single dollar. And sometimes they do have goals, dreams, and aspirations, but absolutely no way to get there. Just sitting around waiting for a miracle. And even then, I'm certain that if I were to hand one of these people $1 million, cash, untaxed, they still wouldn't have enough drive to leave the crib. Either that, or they would leave the crib, blow $1 million on absolutely nothing, and then come back broker than they were before. And some of you might be thinking, maybe the homie's just depressed. And to that I say, first of all, you have no friends, so how would you know? And second of all, the lazy homie and the depressed homie are two very different classes of people. The depressed homie does have goals and ambitions. They just need something to be happy about. But the lazy homie is just a bum, point blank period. If you're the lazy nigga in a group, just know for a fact your friends have a separate chat without you. But you're probably too lazy to answer the first chat to begin with. Another variation of the lazy homie is the lazy fun homie. They won't do anything unless they find it fun, and they have no idea when to be serious. If I hit a nigga up and the first thing you ask me is where the hoes at, I'm blocking your number, because I don't know where the hoes are at. I'm married, and how could you possibly fund the hoes? You have no job. You will never catch these niggas applying for a job, but they'll be at every single function flexing money. Matter of fact, put me on, teach me your ways. Friend number two is the friend who could never let you be happy, aka the hater. And there's a few different classes of these types of niggas. They're either always trying to one-up you, outwardly showing their jealousy, or in some cases trying to end your life. These niggas move with nothing but malice in their hearts. These are the pre-redemption Sasuke type of niggas. And for those of you who are confused about what I'm saying, let me break it down for you. Imagine you just met somebody, and now you're talking to that same somebody, and you're like, hey, we're talking now, I might as well introduce you to my friends. And when you go to do this introduction, your friend who's never been funny in his entire life decides now would be the perfect time to turn into Dave Chappelle. And just like that, you're back to being worse than single. Or let's say you're out and about and you and your friends run into the huzz, and you just happen to be getting a little bit too much play with the huzz in question. Now all of a sudden your friend desperately needs that $10 he let you borrow back in 2002. And then he asks you how you're getting home because he was your ride to the function. Or they decide at that very moment that they really want to take up boxing, MMA, Muay Thai, or really any sport that gives them an excuse to fight you in front of the huzz. Imagine again, you just got a brand new car, a brand new V6 Charger, and your friend with no car, no license, no hose, no job has the audacity to ask you why you didn't just get a Hellcat. Nigga, do you have Hellcat money, or even McChicken money for that matter? These types of niggas, no matter how broke they are gonna have you second guessing every decision you ever make. And I meant what I said before, these are really the Sasuke archetypes. One of Sasuke's main reasons for leaving the village was because he saw how strong Naruto was getting. He looked at him and said, man, this nigga's stronger than me, and he's a bitch, that means I'm a bitch. And then defected from his own village. If you're one of these Sasuke type of niggas, I beg of you, seek therapy. The next worst type of friend is the flaker. I've been guilty of this one a good few times, but it's not my fault. I have genuinely good reasons for flaking. The rest of y'all niggas simply do not. I could be in the middle of performing the world's first open heart surgery. You just never know. But flaker friends will flake on any outing. They'll flake on a hoop session, dinner, church. These niggas might not even go to your funeral. But then there's also niggas who flake on innings. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You and your friends plan on getting on the game at 10 o'clock p.m. 9:59 rolls around and now everybody needs an extra 15 minutes. That's cool though. It's only 15 minutes. Now you have some time to warm up. Now 10:15 rolls around, you call your one homie, he fell asleep. He's not getting on the game anymore. Then you call your next homie, he's on an expedition in Antarctica. Then you call the third homie and he's organizing his presidential campaign. Now you're stuck running pro clubs with randoms who don't pass the ball. Up next we have the crash dummies, niggas who were born with no semblance of a filter. You just never know what these niggas are gonna do. They may appear normal, but deep down they're just itching for a reason to act up. These are the niggas you can't even bring to church with you because you just know they're gonna find a reason to throw hands with a deacon. You cannot invite these niggas to any serious events, not church, not a wedding, or even a funeral. I'd be scared to bring them to even McDonald's. They might threaten to end somebody's life over some soggy fries. Really, they're just bored and don't get out much, but they're always finding a way to make that somebody else's problem. I'm almost positive that whether you have friends or not, you come across at least 2 crash dummies in your entire life. So you know how much of a nuisance they can be with their unending desire to throw away their lives and drag you down with them. But even worse than the crash dummies are niggas who have no filters in general. If we're ever out in a public setting and I hear,
"Hey everyone, he's gonna be 11-year-old boy for..."
Trust and believe you will not leave the building in the same condition you came in. Something like that makes me wonder how I became friends with this person to begin with. And quick little side note, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, this is exactly how my friend blank acts, then I hate to be the one to say it, but it's about time you and blank went your separate ways. Otherwise, blank might drag you to the deepest depths of hell. The next worst type of friend is the loudmouth. The friend you can't say anything to whatsoever, because when you tell them a secret, you're not just telling them, you're telling everybody within a planetary radius. And the subject matter is not a concern. You could tell them the sky is blue, and someone's gonna come back to you saying,
"My friend's sister's dog's brother told me that you told Timmy the sky was blue."
And then when you ask Timmy, he has no idea how they got that information. And this goes back to one of the previous types of friends, the hater friend. I beg you, for your peace of mind, do not ever tell these people anything embarrassing about yourself, because I guarantee they're waiting for a way to expose you in front of your friends, your girlfriend, the huz, your teacher, your therapist, even your pastor. They will tell whoever they need to as long as it keeps you from succeeding. However, thankfully, there is a full counter to these types of friends, unlike these other deplorable, terrible kinds of friends. And that counter is to simply just lie. Tell them something that can be easily disproved and their credibility will be in shambles. Up next is the girl or boy best friend. And this is only bad in certain circumstances. When we're talking about relationships, girl and boy best friendships simply cannot be allowed to exist. Y'all saw what happened to Will Smith and his husband. She got a young boy bestie and had an entanglement. And since then, I have not seen Will Smith crack a genuine smile. And that's Will Smith. Now imagine you who isn't Will Smith and your partner having a best friend of the opposite gender. Buddy, I hate to say it, but lather yourself up with some oil, jump in the oven at 420 for 69 minutes because you're cooked. The second, and I mean the millisecond, that best friend gets hit by the horny bug, they're telling your partner to cheat on you. Sorry, I don't make the rules, I merely interpret them. You turn around for 1 second and he's throwing it in her jalooper, or she's throwing it in his jalooper. What used to be yours is now a shared product, commonwealth if you will. It doesn't really matter, the point is you're never safe. If he's the nigga your girl is telling you not to worry about, my brother in Christ, you need to start worrying more. And before y'all get salty in the comments, this does not apply to every single person or relationship. I'm sure that human beings are perfectly capable of building genuine friendships with the opposite gender, but forget all that. It's better to assume you're being cheated on by everyone, everywhere, all at once. Otherwise, you might be getting sneakoed, but at least Sneeko knew. Again, I don't make the rules, I merely interpret and report. Up last for today, we have the group leader, and I want to start this one off by saying, if your friend group has a designated leader, you niggas need to get a job, a life, some hoes, or something. You're 25, you're pushing 30. Why does your friend group have a leader? How are you, a grown man, having to ask another grown man for permission to breathe? You're pushing 30, bro, start a family. But for the young niggas and niggas watching, you guys know exactly why a group leader is never a good idea. They're always self-proclaimed. The ego on them is crazy. They assume they're the group leader because no one else cares enough to do the job. These are the type that leave the group chat expecting to be added back. The type that thinks they can decide the group's every move. The blue tie kids. And yet again, this falls back to the hater kind of friend because these group leaders will sabotage you at every turn. Because how dare you get more hoes or have a better car than the group leader? You're better off making separate chats and plans without these people in them. Because anybody who is conceited enough to make themselves the de facto leader needs to go to rehab for all the crack they've been smoking. And that's all for today, guys. Today's like goal is going to be 36,000 because I picked a random number. But for those first 36,000 likes, here, have a cookie. I promise it's not laced. But with that being said, make sure you guys go outside, drink plenty of water, and have a nice day.